Before Yaakov Avinu went down to Mitzrayim, he sent his son Yehuda before him to set up a Beis HaTalmud in Eretz Goshen, in the land of Goshen. To us, the Beis HaTalmud was Yeshivas Ber Yitzchok in Elizabeth, New Jersey. And the Shaliach was Rabbi Shulman, together with his staff, with the help of Rabbi Teitz and the encouragement of the community, and they opened up a Beis HaTalmud. And it seemed to us like it was made special for the Polatsek family. The reason why my boys, or the last four youngest of them, chose Elizabeth, independently I must add, was the combination of many factors.
I found that after, say, Eretz Yisrael, it was very important for them to be in a smaller place.
It was the group that they were familiar with, the group, they knew the boys from before, and it was the location. It was definitely Rabbi Shulman's personality that attracted them together. Everything just seemed to fit together for a place where they can grow in learning in a pleasant atmosphere. The interesting thing about the yeshiva is that even though my four sons were all different in personality, it seemed to blend in and work perfectly for each of them in his own way. What I think is special about this particular yeshiva is a combination of Torah and Derech Eretz, Amidos Tovos and Bein Adam L'Chaveiro. It seems it's beautiful just to watch the boys, the way they interact with one another, and the Hasmada.
And we were so impressed with the boys, their character, their finesse, their refinement, their rapport with each other, the way they interacted. I think that Rabbi Shulman has this aptitude for picking out the boys that he wants in the yeshiva, and he has a knack for picking out boys that are serious, that are eager to learn, and that are of outstanding midos.
Yechiel, Avner, David, and Menachem, each in his own special way, benefited greatly from the yeshiva.
Our gratitude and our appreciation for both Rabbi and Mr. Shulman, for who they are and what they are, is very, very deep.
The Polatsek family has a special place in their heart for Yeshivas Be'er Yitzchok and the Rabbi Shulman, the entire staff, and the entire community. And we really appreciate what they have done for us, the Polatsek family, and my boys in particular.
Tati and Mami, I'd like to wish you mazel tov on being honored as guests of honor. I think it's very well deserved honor. I can't think of anybody else to get this honor. I would really like to thank you for sending me to Yeshiva. Rabbi Shulman, Rabbi Kuskin are amazing people, and I'm very happy to learn under their tutelage. And I would really like to thank you very much again for sending me to Yeshiva, and to congratulate you again on this well-deserved honor.
Mazel tov, Tati and Mami. I am celebrating this evening with you. Thank you for your selfless dedication to me. You always had me number one on your to-do list. Thank you, and thank you Rabbi Shulman and Rabbi Glustein. My experience in the yeshiva has provided me with a strong base in leading life of a ben Torah. With Berchas Mazel Tov, Brios Vatzlacha Rabba, B'chol Ma'aseh Yedeichem, Tizku Liris Banim Uvnei Banim Oiskim B'Torah U'Mitzvos.
It is my great schus and kavod to say a few words about the honorees tonight at the annual dinner of Yeshiva Ber Yitzchok under the leadership of Agoin Agadol Rav Avram Shulman Shlita. We were zeicha to hire in the last few years some outstanding malamdim who have in their neshama, in their whole etzim, their teich, they have in this the bren and the burning desire to be MARBITZEI and to stellen weg Yiddische Kindle auf Bitaras HaKodesh. I'm referring, of course, to Rabbi Deutsch, Rabbi Medetsky, and to Rabbi Ament. The three of them have added so much to the Yeshiva. Rabbi Eliezer Ament, in the first grade, brings in such a flame and energy to his class that they're continually jumping and running and learning, and the demand to get him as a Rabbi is incredible because what he gives into the children. Tzvi Medetsky learns up a Blatt Gemara, Tzvi Medetsky, a Blatt Gemara, wie es darf zu sein. The Baruch understand. You could teach Lamdas in 6th grade also. Kitzei zu verstehen. Give them to understand what it means to learn HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Rabbi Akiva's Gemara, what it means to learn Torah. He's incredible. And of course, Rabbi Deutsch, Rabbi Yehuda Deutsch, has been there for longer than the other two of them. He's been there for years. He's an integral part of the leadership of the Yeshiva. The tone that he sets with his kaiches, absolutely incredible kaiches and talents in teaching both Gemara to the Tziyanra of the 6th grade and also to his third grade class is extraordinary. For Yeshiva to put out such three people in a short period of time, such MARBITZEI Torah, is extraordinary. It speaks a tremendous amount. It speaks bundles to this wonderful Yeshiva. I am thrilled personally to be able to say a few words. I'm due to a previous commitment of a wedding. I couldn't be there tonight at the dinner. But now I feel like I'm being mishtatev in honor of these three great individuals. The Torah would not be the same without them. They are an incredible part and parcel of our Yeshiva, and we're happy to be in Shutfus now with the wonderful Yeshiva Rav Shimon Shlita. Hatzlacha and bracha in all your endeavors. Great, can't be better, right? That's it.
I was learning Eretz Yisrael. My older brother Binyamin, was learning there, had learned there for his mom beforehand, and there was a lot of hype. There was a lot of guys going there. It seemed like the popular place to go. I heard wonderful things about it. I heard it's a place that guys go to steig and that people take their learning seriously.
I grew up in Montreal, and I remember Rabbi Shimon when he was a younger man in the kollel over there. And I remember when I was in high school, I respected him very, very much. The Bachrim looked up to him very, very much. He used to come every single Zman to Eretz Yisrael to speak to Bachrim in the Mir and try to get them to come to Yeshiva. And he came, and when I saw him, I remembered that this is Rabbi Shimon, and I respected him. When I found out he had a Yeshiva, I wanted to join it.
I got to Ber Yitzchok by reading the Help Wanted section in New York Magazine. They were looking for a barber. I was learning in the Mir New Ezras Nashim one fine morning, and Rabbi Shulman walked in. I recognized Rabbi Shulman from having learned in Montreal for 2.5 years. I was always very impressed with him, and one of the things that stood out in my mind from my Montreal days was his hasmada, that at times when the entire kollel beis medrash was empty, Rabbi Shulman could be found there learning non-stop.
When I spoke to some people who had gone to Elizabeth, they said it's amazing. It's just so geschmack. It's a small olam. Everyone needs each other. There's a tremendous close chaverschaft, and I told myself, this is the yeshiva I want to go to.
I was looking for a small, close-knit place, and I love the idea of having an impact on the community. So it seemed to be the most logical of all choices, and it was a decision that I did not regret at all.
Probably my first reaction walking into the yeshiva was wow.
I'll never forget the day I came to yeshiva. I didn't really know anybody in the yeshiva, and mamish, within a minute, 5 guys came downstairs. One guy took my luggage, another guy took my hat box, another guy took my soup bag. I was amazed, and they're welcoming me, and they showed me to the dorm, to show me to my bed. It was just such a special thing.
Everybody went out of their way, of course, to make the 2 new guys feel welcome, and it was a very, very welcoming experience.
I called my mother that night, and I said, Ma, in this yeshiva, there's 15 Golite and 22 Bachrim. I'm the 22nd Bachar. And I got, in the last hour, 21 Shalom Aleichems.
And I think every Zman, everybody in the yeshiva felt, since the yeshiva is so small and so close-knit, everybody felt a sense of achrayus. That if I'm not there, then my presence is missed.
But there's a certain element to the friendships that are made in Elizabeth Yeshiva that are just, you feel so close to these people. You can meet them years later and you'll still feel mamish connected with them. You could schmooze as if you're always best friends.
And that's obviously something that I hold very dear to me those days, and every time I see those wonderful faces, I get transported back to a time 11 years ago, and it's like I never left.
And these are friends you keep forever.
I think the most unique thing about the yeshiva in Elizabeth is the yeshiva himself. That Rabbi Shulman is most nefesh on a daily basis for the Bachrim, for the community, for the younger light.
Rabbi Shulman has a tremendous ability to reach to every single Bachar in a very personal way.
And I saw that it was all about the Bachrim and making sure that the Bachrim were happy and doing what he can for the Bachrim.
The day I came to Yeshiva, I sat down with Rabbi Shulman, and I had already started going out. And he sat down with me and he spoke to me for a few minutes and he said, you know, Eliezer, you need to go from Cleveland. I said, Cleveland? Well, I never even heard of Cleveland. What's in Cleveland besides Telz Yeshiva and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? He said, no, you should look into girls from Cleveland. I said, okay. Well, 8 months later, I got engaged to my wife from Cleveland. And he was so excited. He said, you heard it from me first? You got engaged to a girl from Cleveland. Yeah, true story.
And it's no small coincidence that in my role that I play in my Talmidim's lives as a Rebbe, that Ibergegebenkeit and that devotion is, I would be remiss in not giving Rabbi Shulman a large degree of the credit in seeing just what it takes to be a real Rebbe. A real Rebbe is somebody who gives of himself to do anything to help his Talmidim succeed. And that's something that I'd say had a very profound impact on me from my stay in the various Yeshiva.
Other yeshivas that you go to, the Anhala has a certain untouchability, maybe a stolz about them. It's not that the Anhala in the yeshiva didn't deserve the kavod, and we certainly, I hope, gave them the kavod that they deserved. But we felt that they were part of us. They sat down, they ate breakfast with us. All of us were dating. They spoke to us about our problems. We felt a really close shaykhs. They would come for Shabbos with their families.
So warm, so mamish like charusa. In other words, although they have the respect of Rabbeim, but they also have the closeness of charusas and just being your friends. Some of these people you could talk to, discussing with them, especially your chassan. There's different issues that come up, and I felt so comfortable in yeshiva over there, being with the Anhala, Rabbi Glustein, and Rabbi Shulman. It was mamish fantastic.
The reception that we got from the community was something very, very special. We were really proud to be part of the Elizabeth community.
I learned with some of the boys during Night Seder. I enjoyed seeing the Balabatim come in on a Sunday morning for Minyanim. Sometimes the JEC boys would come in to help out the Minyan for Shachris.
The Rav of the community, when we were there, was Rabbi Taitz Shlita. He was a very, very chashuv Rav. He was a world-renowned Rav and a Paisik. And I remember I was fascinated when he used to come to yeshiva. He used to come for davening sometimes. He'd give a shir in Hilchas Shabbos. I remember he gave a shir in Hilchas Beirer once a week. And I was in awe that the Rav of such a big community is coming, and he's sitting with us and learning with us.
Particularly inspirational was Danny Kahana. I remember very distinctly. He came to the yeshiva. He helped to influence the yeshiva in so many different ways. One of my earlier Shabbos in the yeshiva, we had an oneg at his house, and all the Bachrim trooped over on a cold Friday night to his house, and we had a wonderful time. And once again, he is also another example of selfless dedication to the yeshiva and to all that which it represents, which is Torah and Yerushalayim and Avodas Hashem. Every element of the Ruchnius is taken care of, and it's certainly the Gashmias plays a very, very close runner-up.
One of the main reasons that I enjoyed the yeshiva so much, down on Mora Avenue, there's a new kosher special. I still know the number by heart, 908-353-1818. It was really probably the biggest reason that I was in yeshiva for 3 full years.
And that's just one of the many, many ways of how Elizabeth manifests itself in my teaching and who I am today.
I say that we're all here tonight because we feel a strong Akar Satov to Rabbi Shulman for everything that he gave to us, and we're here in a little way to repay what he gave to us.
I had been living in Hillside for a little over a year, I think, and I switched jobs, and for the first time in my evenings I was available, and it happened to be that Rabbi Reuben, who was in yeshiva at the time, had approached me, asked me, if I was interested in coming at night at all, that there were either people from the community or Bachram from the yeshiva available to learn with me. And he found someone. His name was Avrami Flaum, And we started learning together. The yeshiva was learning the Nedarim that year, and we started learning night Seder a few nights a week. It was really my first interaction with yeshiva. I didn't know anyone, but we started learning for a couple weeks, and then Avrami got engaged and got married and moved to Israel. So Avi Katz approached me and asked me if I wanted to learn with him in the evenings. So Avi and I started learning together every night for a couple of years until Avi bought a house and moved to Pseic. So apparently people who learn with me, good things happen to them. I was learning by myself part of the evenings after my chavrusos had all moved away, and I started learning Shmir Shabbos Kehilchasa by myself. I thought it was practical and enjoyable to learn, and I realized that it might be something that maybe some other people would be interested in. So I approached some of the other guys from the community, some of the other Balabatim. I spoke with Rabbi Wolbe and Rabbi Shulman about it to see if they were interested in what they thought, and I really just approached some of the guys and asked them if they were interested, and a lot of people were interested.
Well, when Ari approached me about the shir, Hilchos Shabbos shir, I thought it was a great idea for two reasons. One is the practicality of learning Hilchos Shabbos, and two is the way in which he wanted to do it. So we learn B'chavrusa, but we also get to come together every so often and learn B'chabura. Certainly gives strength to my week and extra strength to my Shabbos, and I really enjoy it. It's being Kovei Yitzchok Torah, and it's a great opportunity for the community.
Albura is great because my favorite part is that everyone comes together from different places during the week and different jobs in different parts of Jersey, and they all meet once a week for half an hour to really learn the same thing. And everyone's in different places and they're always complimenting each other. If someone missed this, they fill them in. It's always catching up and learning new things.
The Rosh Yeshiva and the Rebbeim and the Bachrim are all very warm and inviting to me and to the Balabatim. What's most unique about the yeshiva is the warmth, and the yeshiva is very inviting to the entire community, from Rabbi Shulman to all the Bachrim and the other Rebbeim. They're very welcoming to come to learn with the yeshiva, to come spend time, to daven, to talk and to shmooze. And the yeshiva is really in many ways a community yeshiva, not just a yeshiva that's in our community. It's given the opportunity for me and a lot of the other Balabatim to make real friendships with the members of the yeshiva, to have families over and to have the Bachrim over for Shabbos meals and to get to know our family and for us to get to know them. It's amazing how Rav Shulman is always looking for ways to bring the yeshiva into the community, part of the community, whether it's the various learning programs for the boys to learn, the Balabatim to come learn at night, or the legal holiday programs, the learning for retirees, the Daf HaYomi, the Chanukah Mesibas, and the Shavuos night learning. There's always different programs, and Rav Shulman is always looking for new ways to get the community involved and to get the yeshiva involved in the community. Rav Shulman is always around in the evenings. When I'm around, I see him in the Beis Medrash all the time. He's always spending time pulling Bachrim over to learn with him, really throughout night Seder and even afterwards, late into the night. I've seen him 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, pulling boys over to learn and to shmooze and to talk. And also I've benefited from my family and my children knowing that there's yeshiva here, where the boys are learning from morning to night, and a place for their father to go learn and spend his evenings. Just by the fact that there's yeshiva here, a makom Torah, that while the rest of us go off to work, the guys with the Rabbanim are learning from morning to evening and to night, 3 starim a day, and then we have the chance to come home and join them and learn night Seder with them.
I'm so happy that we have the opportunity to have the yeshiva in our neighborhood, where my husband Ari has a place to learn every night and infuse our home with Torah. Our children and I are very lucky to have the community be infused with the kollel right here, and it's so nice to meet the Bachrim and have them over, and we are so thankful to have the community filled with Torah because of the yeshiva right here.
I'd just like to thank Rav Shulman for providing such a wonderful place for me and the entire community to come and learn and to be inspired. And it could not be done without the entire staff, the Bachrim and the Kollel and the Rabbanim, who have opened up their arms for me and the entire community. And of course, I'd like to thank my wife for always encouraging me and supporting me to go learn and to daven with the yeshiva.
started this year, a new initiative to just open our doors for the younger, the middle and high school.
I joined the program because I wanted to be able to spend my vacation at least doing a little bit of learning and not just wasting the whole time and learning a little bit of Torah.
And we saw it to be a very exciting program. The kids liked it a lot.
We learned, had a good breakfast. Then you learned and either went on bowling or you went home.
It was a lot of fun.
I'm thankful for the Yeshiva to let me get a chance to learn during vacation and go on trips.
The Yeshiva's Ben Zmanim program was a tremendous addition to its set of things for the community.
Hello.
Hi, Shlomo. Mr. Jacobs here.
Hi, Mr. Jacobs. How are you?
Look, you have to change the location of the dinner.
What do you mean you want me to change the location to the dinner?
Yeah, I promised myself that I would never go to a SHERATON again. They wouldn't refund my Starwood points after I complained.
I don't know what to tell you. Even if you were Danny Kahana, Donald Trump, there's no way we could change the location 3 days before the dinner.
Well, you gotta do something. I mean, you have to know someone. Someone has to be out there that can do this.
All right. I'll see what I can do. Don't worry, Mr. Jacobs. I'll take care of it. Hi.
Hey, what's going on?
I need you to take care of something. I know you're the only one that can do it.
Do what, Shlomo?
I need you to change the location of the dinner.
I don't know, I gotta see if I can do that.
Can you do it? I'm on it.
Alright, so I got them to change the hotel's name. Yeah, it's taken care of. Have a great day, bye-bye.